Hello, welcome to the self-learning platform by Dr. Sushma Singh. Today we start Unit 10, MK Gandhi, and we discuss views on human nature. Gandhi's views on man, human nature, and society are in consonance with his philosophical outlook and reflect his convictions regarding morality and ethical pursuit of life. At the same time, he was deeply aware of the imperfections of human beings. What is important, however, is disposition. There is no one without faults, not even men of God. They are men of God not because they are faultless, but because they know their own faults and are ever ready to correct themselves. Conscious as Gandhiji was about man's weaknesses as an individual or a member of a group, he still did not think of man merely or only as a brute. Man, he was convinced, was after all a soul as well. Even the most brutal of men, he felt, cannot disown the spiritual element in them, that is, their potentiality for goodness, while regarding the individual as imperfect. He had great faith in human nature. I refuse, he says, to suspect human nature. Its will is bound to respond to any noble and friendly action. At another place, he says there are codes in every human heart. If we only know how to strike the right chord, we bring out the music. What distinguishes man from the brute is self conscious impulse to realize the divinity inherent in him. He writes, we were born with brute strength, but we were born in order to realize God who dwells in us. That deed is privilege of man and it distinguishes him from the brute creation. He argued that every man and woman has capacity in them to change their life and transform themselves truly into the self they are. Man, as animal, he says, is violent, but as spirit is non-violent. The moment he awakens to the spirit within, he cannot remain violent. Man is inherently predisposed towards his self-realization. In him, moral qualities and social virtues such as love, cooperation, and tolerance preponderate over violence, selfishness, and brutality. And man keeps working for higher life. He writes, I believe that the sum total of the energy of mankind is not to bring us down, but to lift us up, and that is the result of the definite, if unconscious, working of the law of nature. Gandhiji believed that human nature is in its essence one, and that every man has the capacity for the highest possible development. The soul is one in all. Its possibility is therefore the same for everyone. It is this undoubted universal possibility that distinguishes the human from the rest of the God's creations. Next point is relationship between religion and politics. The modern world attempted to mark off religion from the political domain and made religion a purely personal affair. Religious beliefs and commitment by themselves are not supposed to shape the political realm. Against such a position, Gandhiji called for the reinsertion of religion in shaping public life and saw an intimate relation between the health of a polity and religious pursuits. Now let us discuss concept of religion. What a religion stand for? How does one make sense of diversity of religion? Gandhiji's answer was, I believe in the fundamental truth of all great religions in the world. They were at the bottom all one and were all helpful to one another. There were, according to him, as many religions as there were mankind minds. Each mind, he would say, had a different conception of God from that of the other. All the same, they pursue the same goal. He insisted that religion be differentiated from ethics. Fundamental ethical precepts are common across religions, although religions may differ from each other with respect to their beliefs and practices. I believe that fundamental ethics is common to all religions. By religions, I have not in mind fundamental ethics, but what goes by the name of denominationalism. Religion enables us to pursue truth and righteousness. Sometimes he distinguished religion in general and religion in a specific sense. One belongs to a specific religion with its beliefs and practices. As one proceeds through the path suggested by it, one also outgrows its limitations and comes to appreciate the common thread that binds all religions and pursuers of truth. Gandhiji once said, let me explain what I mean by religion. It is not the Hindu religion which I certainly prize above all other religions, but the religion which transcends Hinduism, which changes one's very nature, which binds one indissolubly to the truth within which ever purifies. It is a permanent element in human nature which counts no cost too great in order to find full expression, and which leaves the soul utterly restless until it has found itself, knows its maker, and appreciates the true correspondence between the maker and itself. Any kind of sectarian foreclosure he felt was a violation of human nature and its authentic striving. He said religion does not mean sectarianism. It means a belief in order, moral government of the universe. It is not less real because it is unseen. This religion transcends Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, etc. It does not supersede them, it harmonizes them and gives them reality. Talking about specific religions, he says religions are different roads converging to the same point. What does it matter that we take different roads so long as we reach the same goal? In reality, there are as many religions as there are individuals. While diversity of religions is admissible, he did not think that any religion can claim itself as superior over others. In fact, when a religion claims itself superior to others, its credentials are suspect and it becomes a hurdle in the path of our self realization. So long as there are different religions, every one of them may need some distinctive symbol. But when the symbol is made into a fetish and an instrument of providing the superiority of one's religion over others, it is fit only to be discarded. Next point is concept of politics. Politics for Gandhi was but a part of man's life, though he thought that an increase in the power of the state did the greatest harm to mankind by destroying individuality, which lay at the root of all progress. Yet he viewed political power as a means that enabled people to better their conditions in every department of life. Politics, therefore, is an enabling activity. He wrote, my work of social reform was in no way less or subordinate to political work. The fact is that when I saw that to a certain extent my social work would be impossible without the help of political work, I took to the latter and only to the extent that it helped the former. Political activity of man is closely associated with other activities of man, and all these activities, according to Gandhiji, influence each other. Life is one indivisible whole, and all my activities run into one another. Therefore, political activity is intimately related to other walks of life and pursuits. What he hated in politics was the centralization of power and the use of violence associated with political power. Next point is relationship between religion and politics. He formulated the relationship between politics and religion as an intimate one. Religion cannot be divorced from politics, given the fundamental objectives of life as self realization. If politics does not enable religious pursuits, it is not worthwhile at all. He stated categorically, for me, politics bereft of religion is absolute dirt, ever to be shunned. He further thought that political activity that divorces itself from the quest of self realization is not worth the salt. Politics creates the conditions for pursuits which members of a polity feel are basis to the making of their selves. What could be more basic than pursuit of one's own self? He felt, for me, there is no politics without religion, not the religion of superstitious and the blind religion that hates and fights, but the universal religion of tolerance. Politics is intimately related to the entire activity of human life. This is particularly true in modern times. He wrote the whole gamut of man's activities today constitutes an indivisible whole. You cannot divide social, economic, political, and purely religious work into watertight compartments. While regarding politics as the method through which men can rule themselves without violence, and religion as the embodiment of ethical and moral rules, Gandhiji argued that their close relationship has to be recognized. So much importance did he attach to politics that he insisted on taking part in politics as if it is something religious in nature. As evident, Gandhiji looked at politics with a view to reform it. He firmly believed that he could lead a truly religious life only when he took part in politics. But the motivation that imbues one in participation in public life is important. The Gandhian view of politics was a politics where people participated in public affairs for purpose of serving others. Hence, for him, all political activities concerned themselves with the welfare of everyone. As political activity is closely related to the cause of people, it is essential that such activity be permeated by religion, or at least should be concern of the people who are religiously motivated. Politics permeated by religion, according to him, means politics dedicated to serve the cause of humanity, which eventually leads to a better understanding of truth. For him, the kingdom of God lies here in this world, in the man here and within men, those whose political activities is directed towards the service of humanity. To quote him, I could not be leading a religious life unless I identified myself with the whole of mankind, and I could not do so unless I took part in politics. For Gandhiji, politics is one method of seeking a part of the whole truth. Political activity helps man to achieve the capacity to rule himself, a capacity wherein he obeys rules of the society without an external force or external imposition. Religion and politics, so understood, make a good case for Swaraj. He regards concentration of power as detrimental to the individual freedom and initiative. Gandhiji never considered political power as an end. It was a means to enable people to better their condition in every walk of life. He, for him, political power was a means to regulate public life at various levels, in tune with the principles stated above. If the life of a polity becomes self regulated, there was no need to have representative government. It will then be an enlightened anarchy. In such a state, everyone will be his own ruler, respecting the self rule of others over themselves. It would then be a completely non violent society and state. He, however, felt that no society can ever become completely non violent, but if it does, it would be the purest anarchy. The latter is the ideal to strive for. In the ideal state, therefore, there is no political power because there is no state. Here we want to wind up this lecture and thank you so much for your attention.